Yeah,
And I didn't get it. Oh, there it is. Okay, all right. Okay, it just came
I'm
through.
in the page and I don't see it in the page.
It should. It just popped up,
Should
so
be
it
in the
should.
group.
Yeah, I got a notification. It's on. All right, we good. Um, but the thing about it is, I don't want to minimize it and make it seem like that's easy to do, but that's to alter your diet. I guess it all comes back to discipline, though, man. You have to be
Yeah.
able to
You
commit
gotta
to something.
consider it not a diet, just a change of
That's right.
habits.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you ready to start the show?
Yeah. We good.
8:02.
Okay.
Really
Yep.
share button. I don't-
Well, on the live, John.
Yeah, it's in the group. It's supposed to be in the group, John.
That should be.
Go
Yeah.
to Real Bros Live.
Oh, you want me to try to share it on your page, Night?
No, we on there.
No, I'm
We in
talking
there.
about.
I'm looking at it.
Page, and I don't see it in the page. Yeah, but how do I share it? I want to share this.
Okay, let me. Hold. Let me. All right. Let's.
Go to Real Bros Live, the group.
I'm in the group, man.
I'm in there. Let me see if I can do it. Y'all go ahead. Go ahead, man. What's
All
up,
right.
Night?
Everybody, sorry for the little technical difficulties. We're running a couple of minutes late, but everybody that's with us, welcome. And we hope to put on a good show for y'all tonight. This is Real Brothers Live, Real Brothers for the Real World. And we got a guest host tonight, my man Shyste. And we got Stace here.
Yo.
And I'm TL. And we're going to get right to it.
What's going on? What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Real Brothers to the Real World. Happy Resurrection Day or Easter, or if you don't celebrate, happy Sunday, or whatever it is that you do to acknowledge this special day. Today, like my man TL said, we have a special guest with us. I mean, actually, not even a guest. It's our homie. It's our brother.
That's
We
right.
got King Shyste. And if you're from Philly, or even if you're not from Philly, he's, I would say in Philly, I'm just going to say top 4 poets in Philly. How about that? Is that good enough, Shyste, for you? Top 4.
Well, I said King Shyste, so
I don't know when you come with these other numbers.
Yo, but we know a lot of people.
It's all good, man. But I think I put in a lot of work, man. I put in a lot of work, and I definitely believe out of town when you talk about Philly, my name it definitely comes up.
It's in the
a lot.
conversation.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's a lot of. We're not even talking about because it's so subjective with art. So your favorite's gonna be your favorites.
Absolutely.
But I don't think I put in as much work as I have since 2004, 2005.
Okay,
So it's
all right. King Shyste. King
King of
Shyste.
North Philly, King of Philly.
All right, there you go. All right, but so what we're gonna do? Shyste has a project. He has a CD. Actually, it was produced. Shyste, what's the name of E's studio? Griot Soul Studio.
The label is Griot Soul Records.
Griot Soul Records. Shyste put out a CD.
I'm getting
Real nice.
Griot Soul Records chain like Death Row and Bad Boy and all that.
Yep. Spoken word CD. I'm looking at the titles now. King Shyste Season. The Cage Jim Crow Sing.
That's my joint right there.
Yep.
The Cage Crow Sings.
Jim Crow Sings. Yep.
That's my shit.
King Heartbreak, Sunshine, and that's, you got to check the spelling. That's Sun, S-O-N, Sunshine, Black Love, Soul of Malcolm, and Raheem Story. So what we're gonna, what is it, Night Shyste? My fault.
Rock My Story.
Rock My Story. My bad. What we're gonna do to start this thing off, we're gonna listen to one of Shyste's pieces. He told us to run with Black Love. We're gonna do that now, and then we're gonna have a couple words of Shyste on the other end. So
Yeah, let's
check
check
it
it out.
all right.
I had a dream.
How my
Turn it
volume?
up.
Turn it up.
That's
Okay.
Yeah, turn it up.
And Black Love was her name, her soul wore a crown. Our connection was spiritual, amazing beauty in the physical. Essence was Eve-like. No woman exists before her, biblical. And we sat and talked for hours. Told me that God exists within, and that's how you find your real power. Talked about her favorite book, The History of Black America, that came before the Mayflower, and what it is to truly revolutionary. In that moment, I knew I had to have it by any means necessary. We discussed the difference between spirituality and religion. Garveyism made me smile how she finished my thoughts in a sentence. Then I asked her, Black Love, can you stay? She looked at me, my eyes plain in a locked head, whispered in my ear, take your time with me. I ain't going nowhere. And we kissed until her clothes fell off.
Oh.
Got lost in a wet and soft. And at night, our inhibitions and restrictions, we freed them all. We on the move. With black love by my side, how can I lose? A nation can only rise as high as a woman, and that's for the believers. Can't see me without black love. That's like Farrakhan with Jungle Fever. Been there from the beginning, and we'll be there to the end. She's my lover, my friend, the mother of my children, my mother's mother's mother, and all that I am, and because of black love.
Nice.
Like that, John Shyste.
Yo, that's tight. That's tight. That's tight. All right. So Shyste.
They should be playing shit like that on the radio, man.
That's a different story right there. I mean, I think that's what Eda Poet, he's the founder of Griot. That's what the hope is. You know, you get enough buzz and you start at the bottom and then you never know where it can bubble to.
Yeah.
How my volume sounding? How we sounding with our music?
Good.
Okay. So Shyste, let us know, man. Where did the inspiration for Black Love come from? Where did that come from?
Black women, black culture. The poem is personification. So, you know, it sounds like you're talking to a woman, what I am, but its personification is actually love for the culture. So that's why you hear me say by any means necessary. I had a dream, mentioned in books like Before the Mayflower, We on the Move. Like I'm referencing all these parts of black culture. So I'm using black love, like I'm talking to a woman personification, one of the poetic devices, techniques, but I'm actually talking about the love of black culture. So it's like
Nice.
a synonymous. So that was the part of the plan, to talk about my love for black culture and my love for black women.
Right. They're all one and the same. Yeah, I get
It's
that.
like I'm always stepping directly to a woman. And by the way, I just shot that video. So that's the third video from the project. Like Terry was saying, he like the Cage Jim Crow. That video is out now.
Okay.
And this will be the follow-up. So this will be the third video coming off that project.
Before we forget, then don't forget before we leave to put the link where people, because these projects are for sale, that they can order them, because we have to give support to people trying to do stuff. You know, we talk about infrastructure.
That's right. I got mine. Get yours.
Right. I got mine too, and I understand that E's wife dropped something on that same label. But Shyste, don't forget before we leave.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you, Griot's records. We don't stop. Take that. Take that.
Besides, you're gonna have to put the link up there to let people know how they can order it. All right,
Okay.
before we go, so don't forget that. So you saying this was inspired primarily from your love of the black woman, also the culture, the black culture. Did you feel like you feel like you needed to talk about like that? Like that's not talked about enough. Talking about more specifically the culture.
Definitely, that's the point. To be a griot, to be a poet, is to keep the stories going. So if we, as rappers and R&B artists, all we got is these women on videos dancing half naked, and then we got women and the singers and the women singers and the women rappers singing half naked, and that's saturating the mainstream. And that's what it is. Sex sells, we get it, but it's also other stories that need to be told. So let your kids, like I say, this is something you can ride with your kids in and have teachable moments. Let's talk about black love, but you gotta, as an adult, you gotta be on it. So if I'm talking about her favorite book is The History of Black America that came before the Mayflower, you gotta read that book. If I'm sitting there talking about Any Means Necessary or Malcolm reference, you gotta be able to talk about Malcolm with your kids. And you talk about Martin, and I talk about the nation, as the Nation of Islam teaching is nation can't rise no higher than this woman. That's nation. You have to be able to have that conversation. Like, what does that mean that a nation can rise no higher than a woman? How are we going to be about man, woman, and child, about the family if we keep knocking our women down? Who's going to respect us as a nation, as a culture, as a community, if we pull our black women down, and vice versa? So,
Shyste, let me ask you this then. Of course, we know that the spoken word seems to be the natural progression after hip hop. And say it again. No. I mean, but I think that
last poets predate hip hop.
No, but I don't mean in chronologically. When I'm saying as you get older, you're in the people and the pop is immersed in hip hop. But then as you get older, you still like the wordplay, you still like the creativity. So a lot of us.
But you want it to mean something, you know what I mean? Like, whereas these guys now that's rapping and all that, a lot of the stuff that I be hearing, they're not really saying anything. You know what I mean?
But what I wonder is why doesn't hip hop? I mean, why isn't spoken word bigger than why isn't it more prevalent? Like you said, Nike, they should be playing this on the radio. Why don't they?
Because we don't own it most of the time.
Well, actually, we do. I mean, what you talking about? Like the spoken word?
Corporations own was played on the radio.
Okay. You talking about
advertisements, blah blah blah, this and that. It ain't always straightforward now. It's like, I mean, there was a time when you could, take your new record or something up to the radio station, and you know what I mean, if the DJ liked it, you could get a little airplay or something, or you could get a, they'll spin your joint one time and see how, see what the feedback is like. You can't do that no more. Now it's all pre-programmed. It's all paid by sponsors. You don't got no sponsor. You don't get no play. I mean, it's really that simple. You know what I mean?
Now we know that everything is cyclical. Do y'all
say this though? So what the things we talk about in spoken word, do you hear it in hip hop and R&B on the radio? So that's kind of answer your question. If you saying why is that spoken word not bigger? Why is poetry not bigger on the radio? Well, if you're talking about black love in poetry and the case Jim Crow, I'm talking about mass incarceration. If hip hop and R&B is not doing that, why would they let us do it? So that's to answer your question right there. It was what we doing on the radio, what's being on the radio and what's marketed on TV, what the kids make trend, what young people are trending, what the adults are trending, what do they make trend? Because we don't even got to talk about the radio so much when we got so much going on.
YouTube and social media. Right.
Satellite radio.
Well, you know what? That kind of dovetails into where I was going with it. And the question is, since we know that everything is cyclical, do you see it swinging back? Because when we were coming up, we had that on the radio. We had Public Enemy. We had KRS One. What do you mean?
So he said radio stations, I question you're black, and because you're black, we'll see if you play this. KRS One and Chuck D was railing about the fact that they wasn't getting radio play. What you remember, Stacey, is the rap hour. We got it on the rap hour.
Okay.
We still got it, but we still got it, Shyste.
Huh?
But we still got it.
It was still there.
You know where we got it from? Right, because it was
exposed to it.
Right, listen. So let's go through it. It was in our hands, right? And then we got MTV Rap and Rap City, where it was diverse. And the more it got bigger and the more the industry got their hands on it, it came narrow and more narrow.
Right. So then my question is then, since everything goes, like they say, there's nothing new under the sun, everything swings around. Do you see it coming back? Do you see it? Because at the point at where it is now, I just think it's at a terrible place. It's talking about rap as far as what's being played mainstream. Do you see it coming back? Do you think that, or do you think that?
I believe it always will have its moments. Nas just won a Grammy for his album King Disease. What you're gonna have is maybe not become more progressive rap, may not become the overwhelming thing, but it's going to find its lane. Okay. So like spoken word, we got to find our lane. We don't
segment it.
Yeah, it's too good not to. You know, what I mean?
As big as Beyonce or whoever, or Cardi B, or whoever, Meek Mills, but we can find our lane. So if I could sit up there, the Jim Crow had 2,500 views the last time I checked. That's me finding my lane. The CD was being downloaded at a surprising rate for me. Like the numbers are very surprising for me, and I still haven't figured out all the other things I need to do to get it out to more people. Like the people that know me are supporting me. I got to go find the new fans that don't know me. That's my next.
Well, that's why you're on Real Brothers. That's why you're on Real Brothers.
Word start to spread because it's too good not to.
Listen on Real Brothers to get it and share it on their social media. Share the videos. Play the music, buy the music, share the video.
We just did.
Yeah, we did. It's up there. Well, we're gonna do the link also.
Yeah.
So again,
No, I'm not
y'all.
talking about y'all.
I know you talking about.
I'm
I understand. All right. So once again, King Shyste, you heard one of the pieces there, one of the tracks. Before we finish this thing, we're gonna put the link up. Buy it. Also check out. Be on the lookout for the other projects coming out of the Griot studio. That's Eater Poet. Actually, like we're gonna have to get him up here too, man, and talk to him about what he's doing. And cause like we said, man, that's black business. As you talked about last week when we talked about the power of the black dollar. Every chance we get, I mean, even if it's going in a different direction from we're going in, we can still spend some time on it. You know what I mean? That's
everybody that's listening, spread the word.
That's right.
June 11th, the Black Dollar Blackout. Don't spend one red penny.
On
All June 11th.
All right. So now we're gonna move on. We got a couple topics here. We got the George Floyd trial. We got life's regret. Message to your younger self. What don't women understand about us? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to our guests. Shyste.
Yes, sir.
All right. Pick one, and then give us some feedback. There you go. I see it. Pick a topic, and then give us your feedback, man.
One that really hit me, all of them are good, but when I really started settling, running around in my head, and I think I was like, okay, when you say what women need to know about us, at first I was like, well, that's
what don't they understand? What don't they understand?
What they don't understand about us is like, that's pretty broad because each man is, we're not a monolith as men. But I think one thing because I hear women say two things that we need to be better communicators. We don't talk the way women will talk. We all know that, and we've been with women. They talk, and the other thing it was emotional. They say we're not, we hold things in emotionally. So I would say what they need to understand about us, we are emotional beings. Us holding in our emotions is the way we kind of keep everything in check because we don't have the time. And it's the best thing about like this, women, if we both in the household being emotional, shit ain't getting done.
Right.
We need checks and balances. So it's not that your man is not emotional. We're taught to hold it in and rein it in to do what we have to do. So don't think we don't love hard. Don't think we don't hurt. Don't think we don't have joy. People probably rarely see me, the women I'm with, just to see me ecstatic and blissful.
Yo. Night. He's still going.
And what Shyste, I kind of agree with what Shyste was saying though. Like, Shyste, we lost you. Shyste.
When I was
Shyste.
Yeah.
The whole joint, the whole middle section went out. I was about to see your chat. Yeah.
Okay. Even when my ex, I'm gonna just pick it up where I was at. Even when my ex, just to give you an example, what I mean about being emotional and holding it in. Even when my ex told me she was pregnant with my youngest son, she later on told me I didn't really show no emotion.
Right.
I had to keep my emotions in check because hers were, and we were dealing with. We had miscarried before. Right. So I wanted to be a rock in that because we had to deal with her emotions, like miscarried before. I'm a little nervous. What if I don't go full term? So you holding it in. But when my son came in the world and held him in my hand, I was very overcome with emotion. You still probably couldn't see it in my face, in my action. So what they need to know about, we are emotional beings, but us putting it in, it's the way we show it. Balances.
Right. Okay. All right. Now, so Night. So what are your thoughts then? What don't women understand about us? I mean, what comes to mind?
I just think I think like men are different these days than men used to be back when we was out doing different shit. Like,
what do you mean, Night?
I ain't trying to say that a lot of these cats are soft or nothing like that. But a lot of these cats are soft, man. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Like you call them soft.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You got all these like metro type of dudes and all that, you know what I mean? And it's okay for a guy to be emotional to a certain point, because I get emotional myself, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
But there's a point where you gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta put your big boy pants on and carry on with it. You know what I mean? Because like, if you being a black man, if every time you get knocked down,
that's right,
you gonna whine about it, or you gonna like, you know, be defeated, you will never get nowhere, man. So you gotta kind of like know how to brush that shit off, you know what I mean, and keep it moving. But it's like a lot of cats, and I ain't talking about these young cats that's out here, you know, shooting everybody. I think they soft too, because they scared to knuckle up.
Right.
And that's coming from an old head who done did it all. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when I say soft, that's kind of what I mean. Like, they don't have no problem solving skills. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah. All the way around.
That is.
Yeah, all the way around.
You know
right,
agreed. Like,
agreed.
It's a thing. Like, you know what I mean? They don't. It's like they like the Generation X and the what's that other shit?
So you're really talking about the way they communicate. They don't understand our mode of communicate, or actually you're talking about more like the actions.
All of
their
it.
actions,
like, all of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and the internet is part to blame too. Because you know, you
blame the internet for everything.
I do, man. Because look, people will say stuff to you on the internet that they're not gonna say to you in your grill, right?
Right
or wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one reason I never got a social media account, because I know soon somebody be popping off like that on the internet, I'm gonna be like this, knocking on the door. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I handle that two ways. If you disrespectful, I just take you off my page. But if I know you, you're gonna get a phone call from me.
Right.
And sometimes I'm like, yo, when we start doing this, and we fix it, it don't get out of hand.
And I know I'm totally off the topic.
Oh, gee, you know we better than that. Yeah, okay, but you know that sounds kind of crazy.
And I know I'm.
But they would never do that face to face.
What I was trying to get at is that, like, I think women want to feel safe with a man, right?
Absolutely.
And they want to know that a man can like provide, you know what I mean? So if you laying up with this dude who is like, you know, he ain't really trying to do shit, or he is trying to do shit but ain't doing shit, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And women is like, you know, at least he trying. You know what I'm saying? They get used to that because that's what's out there now. You know what I mean? It's something to that saying that all the good men are taken. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Now, I want to go in I think a slightly different direction, and I'm going to harken back to the conversation that we had maybe a couple weeks ago with the boy Derek Jacks, and we touched on that. That was one of our topics, but this is where I want to go with it as we talk about what women don't understand about men. And Terry, you kind of said it. Well, we all kind of said it. Right. I think that women don't understand, and this kind of goes with Shyste said too. When Shyste said that men aren't emotional, what he means is that, you know, it's I take that to, okay, not emotional, not as, or we don't show it. Put it that way. No, we're not as right. We're not as emotional. I'll go with that. I don't think we're as emotional as women. But what I think what happens as a result of that is that a woman doesn't understand, like with and bringing it back to Derek Jackson, when he was running around with these other chicks, he might, that doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't love what he has at home. And this is what let me elaborate on that. What I mean is that a man, because he's less emotional and maybe a little more physical, can and will dip out and run around, but that doesn't have anything to do with what he thinks he has at home. You know what I mean? I think we get. Go ahead,
so
Shyste.
You're saying what women need to know about us? Yeah, right? That we fuck around. That don't mean we don't love.
No. I mean, no, man. No. That's good. I'm glad you said it that way. What I mean is that let me say it this way. I think
that for us, brother. Come on,
no, because because to a woman, her body is that's her temple. That's her temple. You know, a dude, his body is his body has no connection, I don't think, to his emotional side. He's not saying my body is my temple. A dude, you don't think so? I don't see that. I don't see it. I think a dude will run around and not think anything of it. And a woman will say, go ahead, Nike.
I think God told us all our bodies are temples.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't mean abuse it.
Maybe we don't recognize it like women
do. It's on his mind. Like, it's on his mind. He ain't just running around like, oh, fuck it. Because if he did, he wouldn't try to hide it. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
No, but Nike, but you talking about a different thing. You talking about running around out in the open. What I'm talking about is a way that I think men view their body. I don't think that, and when I say temple, I don't mean abuse it as in drugs and things like that. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying that I think a man has less emotional connection to to running around and that kind of stuff. You understand? I don't disagree with that. Shyste, you disagree with that?
To sex, sexually.
Yeah, okay.
I think men are
just
more
less. No, I don't think that. I don't think men are more. I think women are just as.
We are more our with our senses. The way we're developed, I think, is that we are physical.
What's up, Jay?
Right.
Right.
So
right.
We'll see. We connect on the physical first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a part of our hunter-gatherer nature. We see it, we want it, we get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Whereas women are just as lustful. Women are just, but a woman. You don't, Shyste, come on, man. Women are just as lustful as men. All right, real brothers, real talk, real talk. As you said, Nike, put your big. Hey, Nike, put your big boy. Women are just as lustful as men. Yeah. Now, but this is what I'm saying. The difference is, I don't think they act on it because to them, they're like, no, I can't go around giving everybody my body. I think that's the difference. That's what I'm trying to give it.
You know, and more like they are trying to take care of the home. They got that other instinct. Like they not that hunter-gatherer.
Wait, so you went a different direction. So you said men will take care of their kids?
No, but I'm saying they got that maternal instinct, like they gonna protect their family. So part of protecting their family is staying true to their mate, helping them.
Nice.
Can I say this one though? Can I say this one though, King? When you said about us being emotionally about sex and intimacy, dudes get emotional if they women go out and get that. Give up.
Oh yeah. I agree with that totally.
They get emotional too, right? They can't get it.
Well, I agree with that.
Or if you know what I'm saying.
But do you disagree though that is I think that is a disconnection in the way that we our outlook. A woman will, I think of a man that like the Jackson saying, well, yo, if you love your wife, why you go out there and run around with the boy and with the girl rather? Because
we hunter-gatherers. That's why.
So you agree with what I'm saying?
It takes more for us not to do it. It takes women to understand that it takes more for us not to run around than it does.
So you agree with what I'm saying then? Right. Whereas a woman is that's my point. I think that's a disconnection.
But that's the way we're wired, though.
Okay, but you agree with me though. You agree with me.
Depending on what you're saying.
I'm saying what you just said.
Oh, okay, but then you agree with me then, nigga.
I'm just saying. Yo, all right. Is this my internet messing up?
Yeah, you froze, dude. You froze. Hey, but for real. So like that hunter-gatherer, that's real thing, man. Like it's like in our DNA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
For us to we see something that we want, we hunt it, and then hopefully, you know what I mean, if the hunt is successful, we get it, then we bring it home. You know what I mean? That's the way it is.
Right.
Yeah. And then with the women, they're waiting for us to bring that home. Well, not that, but they you know what I'm saying? They're waiting for us to bring what we caught home. and
Right.
prepare for the family. So that's a, you know what I mean.
Right. Okay. So again, so
And
I'm riding with that.
Yeah, we
Go ahead.
departmentalize our emotions. You know what I'm saying?
We do.
That's my point. See, okay, maybe I should I could have said it a little differently. That's all I was saying. We can compartmentalize. We don't, and I don't want to say every time. I'm not making it sound that way, but I believe that is a disconnect. That a woman looks at a man and his actions through her eyes instead of through the lens that you just put forth, Nike. Whereas a man is a hunter-gatherer. Now, I'm not saying go out there and act as if you're not married. That's not what I'm trying to get at.
Right.
What we're talking about is the disconnect, and that's what I'm running.
Like
with.
I said, they don't understand that it takes more effort not to. You know what I mean? Not
Agreed.
To go out there and you know, because it's human nature, man. It's human nature.
Right.
Even
Chris Rock
had more than one
I was
wife,
gonna say,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. True. Chris Rock said that a man is limited by his options. Go ahead, Shyste.
So I think where the topic started was, what do we want women to know about us? And I think what all kind of agree with is we compartmentalize our emotions different from.
Correct.
Doesn't mean we're not emotional beings.
Correct.
And don't so much get caught up that you're not, that emotional connection doesn't happen the way on the time that you think it should happen.
Right. Correct. Agreed. Right. You can't look at a man and expect him to act like a woman. It's just not gonna happen. Well, it can.
Some cats you can.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, but that's not. Don't expect that from him. Put it that way. Don't expect him to respond the way you would.
Metro cats out here wearing these little teeny ass jeans and these teeny ass shorts. Come on, man. What woman want to see that? What woman really want to see that?
If he's looking at some of these young boys, that mean their mothers or fathers bought it for them.
But I'm saying, man, what woman want to see that?
I mean, listen, I can't even speak on it. Well, again, that's us speaking from a man's point of view. We don't want to see it, but would you want to see the woman walking around in a little teeny jaw?
Well, that's
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Right. So, you know,
All
we
like
can't.
Jay said.
What?
Jay was like, we got to get comfortable to open up. Yeah. So yeah.
True.
And our couple might take 6 months to 6 years.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Exactly. Now that right there is profound, because I've always said that until you have that man's vulnerabilities and his heart and everything else, you don't have them. Right. You don't have them because there's no connection there. He could get up and leave and not think anything about it.
I tell you what, though,
if you
got a man heart for real,
you got him.
Really got his heart.
You got him. You got him.
Regardless
of, listen to this though.
And he'll do anything for you.
Listen, Nike. Regardless of what he does, he's not going anywhere. He got him. Go ahead, Nike.
I would think women need to know about men. According to Terry, when you got his heart, you got him. So how does she know when she got his heart and when not?
Sometimes you don't know.
Boy, you're bad at wisdom tonight. You got his heart. You got his heart.
You just don't know what you had it. All right, man. All right, that was interesting. All right, nice. Where we going next? We got message to your younger self, life's regrets, and the George Floyd trial. Where we going, Nike?
I don't know, man. Let's hit a little bit on the George Floyd joint, man. Just to like.
All right. Okay. It's in the news, you know.
Yeah, and like that whole the trial is like, it's almost like when I watch it, because I've seen so many results similar to this. It makes me feel like, I know it should be an open and shut case, but it's so fucked up, you know, out here that you don't really know. You don't really know if it's an open shut case. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Does it, as you, from what you've been able to follow of it, does it seem like it's going a little better this time than it has in the past? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
No, because that attorney general boy, the black dude.
Which one? The one that's processed, the prosecutor?
The one who selected the grand jury and all that?
The prosecutor.
Gave instructions to the grand jury.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That dude, man, just because he black, you know what I mean? That don't mean that he's trying. If you look at the earlier questions that he was asking the grand jury and the stuff that he left out, like everybody that claimed to be fam ain't fam, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Just because you black, that don't mean you black, you know what I'm saying?
True. But I think he's putting on a good case though, from what I've been able to glean from it. And like I said, I haven't been able to see the blow to blow. But he seemed like
talking about the attorney general.
See, okay, I missed that.
The one that actually selected the grand jury, that guy.
Okay.
Young black dude.
Okay. All right. So you don't feel any more confident than you normally would in a case like this?
No, I mean, how can I?
True. You had to base things on history. Yeah. What do you think, Shyste?
I'm kind of with Terry because what I'm seeing is we got the tape. It should be open and shut, and what I'm hearing what is being put on is the same tricks.
Right, yeah, like you talking about the board, like
no, not so much the board, not so much the prosecutor. What you're talking about, the same tricks about going into his character, going into things like he was intoxicated.
He has to do that. He has to do that to defend his client, though. You know, if he's the defense attorney.
You asked the question, Stace. You asked me, am I confident? I said I'm with Terry. It seems like it's been open and shut before, but I'm seeing the same old tricks. So somebody playbook, somebody off, they're giving them what they need to let off. I can't see it. I can't see how you can accuse 9 minutes of murder on tape. Like we watch you murder this man for 9 minutes. The whole process took about 9 minutes of you kneeling to suffocate this man and strangling. What I'm saying is I'm seeing the same tactics that they use with Brianna, what they use with Trayvon. You kind of discredit the victim.
Right.
You start putting out these
like the Trayvon Martin, that was open and shut. I thought that was open and shut.
Yeah. All of them seem to be open and shut.
Should have been right.
Gray, Mike Brown.
So really, unfortunately, Diablo. Unfortunately, it sounds like we're not even looking at the way the trial is going on. It sounds like we just questioning though it's the process though, because like you said, we've been here before. It seemed like there were other cases that were open and closed and should have been a shut case and they weren't. So it's the whole thing.
How can you be confident in the process? How can you?
That's what I mean.
You know what I'm saying? You
That's what I
really
mean.
Can't be confident in the process because you've seen this process and it repeats the exact same way every single time. Every single time. I mean,
you hold the case up to get a little bit of outrage out to the community. So it's never like a speedy trial. They keep it off as long as they can, let the people simmer down. Then they start throwing out all these things to discredit the victim.
Right.
That's why.
And then as far as what Terry's talking about, jury selection. So we see all these different tricks played out before. So it kind of makes you nervous. And I'm also more nervous as what can happen. We see what happened when the video first came out. I'm worried about America, what could happen
after the trial, right?
If he's acquitted.
Wait,
you talking as far as rioting and everything?
The only thing that's going to happen if he's acquitted, is if he's acquitted, people going to go out in the street. They're going to be marching, protesting, looting. Certain news channels going to be talking shit about it. You know what I mean? And then we starting this same process all over again. That's why I said, man, the only way people are going to listen. It's time for marching and protesting. That time has passed, right? We not living in the same civil rights movement that we was living in back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. Everything is online. Everything is
true.
Everything is financial. So if you ain't talking digital, if you're not talking financial, they don't hear you. They don't hear you.
You know, it's interesting. Well, actually, now that's funny. Maybe that should be what everybody's talking about. That if there is acquittal, then you instead of rioting and hitting the street, then maybe
Pull
that's
that
where
money
a
away,
blackout is, right?
June-
Yeah, maybe
June
that's
21st.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
not. Look, that's not a big thing to do. That's not hard. That's not a hard thing
Can I
to
ask
do.
you a question, though, Terry?
Wait, hold up. That's not a hard thing to do. If you need gas, get it early. You know what I'm saying? Or if you need gas, get it the next day. You know what I'm saying? Or if you need something to eat, you need food, get it prior to that. Plan it out. Like it's not asking, you're not asking people to do those white folks ask people to perform a insurrection and they got it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is,
well, the process isn't hard.
A certain date.
The process itself is not hard. The tough part is getting everyone on the same page. That's what's tough. What you gonna say, Shyste?
My question to both of you is: the next time we pull over black, if we do this, and we look at the numbers, economically, we've seen the impact of a blackout boycott. And the next time we pull over one of our sons or one of our brothers or sisters, you think that cop thinks it's a second time? A cop that will kill somebody thinks about they ain't gonna buy gas. They're not gonna spend their money. That's a real question. You really believe?
No, they're not gonna think that.
The heart.
No.
So do you think they're gonna be when they're gonna say, if I come up and shoot this black boy, they're gonna be protesting? They don't care about protesting.
No. I think I think the way that you do that is as they doing now. You adjust the laws so that when he's gonna pull out that black kid over and shoot him, he's gonna let me finish.
Right.
When he pulls this person over and he knows that he's thinking about shooting, when he knows he's going to get a real trial from somebody from the outside rather than the local DA, then he'll think twice, and then there's a possibility that he may go to jail.
And
then he'll
exactly how you get criminal justice reform. You have to take something away from these folks that are doing make them be like, oh well, shit. They
consequences.
They organize. You know what I mean? They really want this, or they can affect my bottom line. That's it.
But I agree with I agree with Shyste though. I don't know if that itself will make them think twice, because really what we're talking about now is changing someone's heart and the way they think. And this person with a gun has the ability to shoot someone and not face any consequences for it. He's not going to think about the consequences of the rioting other than getting more overtime. But what I'm saying is that like they did in New York, they got rid of qualified immunity for police officers, so that now the law used to be, which is crazy, if you committed a crime or killed someone and it was never a law before, you can't be prosecuted for it as a police officer. They got rid of that. So it wasn't about boycotting.
That's how you get laws made. That's how you get laws made. You know what I mean? You have to be able to
I see what you're saying.
To be brought to the table. So if you have enough organization where you can affect a company.
You talking about your list of demands. Right. You talking about your list of demands. Yeah, Nike, Shyste.
He said he don't believe a boycott or protest. He think it would be the fear of their life.
Well, there you go. A real trial.
Their own lives.
Oh, so he's talking about, now he probably talking about something different. Now, when you say fear of their life, you don't mean getting locked up, right? Explain. What does he mean?
Their life, a life for life. That's what I'm understanding it.
Yeah, but then we taking it to the streets, and that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
I'm talking about a peaceful way to
get power. Get power.
Right.
To get power.
To get power.
And what I believe, and I think some other people
just be invited to have a conversation at the table with all of the people that's making the laws. And,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Somebody's standing up for your interests.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, some of us don't believe that when that moment comes for that person on the jury to say guilty or not guilty, to free somebody or to pull the trigger, they're going to think about the protest that's going to come or the boycotts that's going to come or any of these things.
Right. Agreed. They're not going to think about that.
Power doesn't really relinquish power. They just don't do it because,
See, but no,
they have no reason to. Why
right.
They don't have a reason to. Just because you march in the street, that ain't no reason for them to relinquish power. Just because you
saying,
protest and loot.
Wait a minute.
Relinquish power. But if you take money out of their pockets, and you affect their bottom line,
you said that 3 times.
Because
what we're saying, boycott or taking money out their pocket. We don't believe. We're not necessarily to believe when it's time to put that guilty or not guilty vote or squeeze the trigger or not to squeeze the trigger. You're going to worry about did black people buy gas? Did black people shop at our store? Well, I don't know. We're confident that's the solution. That's what we're saying.
All right, let me ask you a question, Shyste. So, are you saying then the law where they're saying that if a police officer commits a crime, let's say a police officer kills someone, that person is going to get a fair trial and could possibly face the same charges as the common person on the street face murder? Are you saying that won't make that cop think twice about pulling the trigger? Is that what you're saying?
I think we should do everything.
What does that mean?
Protest.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
We should protest. We should boycott and need to get violent. I believe the 60s, anything we gained from the 60s was not just gained because Martin Luther King marched. You had the Black Panthers, you had all kinds of black power groups and militant groups, along with the Nation of Islam saying reform the way we conduct ourselves. It wasn't one way that we made changes in this country.
So are you saying a 3-pronged approach? You saying all of them? All of the above?
Everything. Okay. I don't think it's one answer. I think do what Terry said. I think if young people and other people want to march, they should march.
Right.
And
look, I think that
shit down.
And I think
who I'm gonna say don't burn shit down
is the perfect date because that's right before Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I understand what he's saying. He's saying do them all. And you know, and oddly enough, now I can't sit here now. I don't know how far you'll get, you know, if you just start picking up arms. I mean, I don't know. I can't sit here right now. Now hear me. No, now you gotta hear me out. Let me finish it. You gotta hear. So but listen. I'm not saying I can't sit here and say right now that I think that if everybody, let's just say my whole block pick up arms and say that if a police officer come down the street, they're gonna get met with a spray of bullet. I don't know. I don't know. I think because then all you do is escalate. Because now in this day and age, first you start out with the Philly Police Department. Now you talking about the National Guard. Then when does it end?
Everything. You can't win that battle.
I mean, when does it end? I mean, now if you're talking about the 3-prong approach, doing them all.
Win the battle. You said to make change. You said to see something different. I'm telling you that history has shown that through violence, changes has come from Cuba to Russia to America. To
you talking taking over?
Not taking over.
Well, but now people in other countries overthrow governments, though, right?
Wait a minute. You asked me a question. I said change. I didn't say take it over. That's my answer. Change, a shift. We didn't say take over America through violence. You said change.
Okay. Like I said, I don't agree with all the above approach.
I like all the above. I'm for all the above. Check all the boxes.
He said all of the above.
Nothing but more violence. And
violence.
Listen.
Violence became more violence, and then shit changed after it burned.
1 second, bro. Listen to me for 1 second. If we were right now, we not equipped to fight the National Guard, the police department, SWAT, and just white people in general, because they own that shit, like them guns and shit. Like they really own that shit. Like that's what I was saying before on a few shows ago. Like brothers need to strap up. It's getting serious out here.
You're going to be outgunned.
You're not strapped up like
you're going to be outgunned, right?
You're going to be outgunned.
Absolutely.
Right.
We're not going to get the treatment that they got in Washington, D.C. when they climbed the wall. We know this.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So to avoid that, you have to think. You got to use this, man. You got to use this.
That is strategic.
Well, that's what he said. He said all of the above. He said all of them.
Did any changes come in the 60s? Yes. Did all the changes come because Martin Luther King marched? No. Cities burned in the 60s. Detroit, Philly, Newark, Detroit, Watts. Cities burned.
That's part of riot and protest.
Right,
That don't have
right.
to do with what I'm
So
talking
the
about.
question was, check all the boxes.
Yeah,
We're not
that's what he
saying
said.
we're going to win. We're not saying life ain't going to be long. Nobody's saying that. But if you don't believe that violence changed things, we wouldn't have America wasn't for violence. You wouldn't have what happened to the indigenous people, what happened to the Africans, what happened with the United States getting our freedom from England was violence.
Okay.
History
right,
shows violence. The United States was not a bigger power than the British Empire.
Well, not only violence, but like you said, all of the above. All of the above, not just one. All of the above. I can rock with that.
I'm telling Terry to go get a gun. Terry, if you want to organize a blackout, I'm with you. They want to hold signs, I'm with you. And if somebody want to a Molotov cocktail, I'm with them too.
I ain't no Molotov cocktail. Like, Shyste, you seen what I got down here?
I got to raise my son, 11-year-old son in the world that. This happened to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and it happened in my era, and it happened in my father's era, and it happened in my father's father era. I'm just tired of being victims.
Right, but Shyste, what I'm saying is, like, you seen what I got down here, so you know what I mean. Like, so I'm just protecting this, like I'm protecting my family, my crib, but I'm not about to go out here waving all that shit in front of no police
state troopers.
No state troopers. No one, because that's
suicide.
Okay.
That's a mass.
Brother E. Muhammad says it's not violence, it's self-defense. So the next time you put your foot on somebody's neck and somebody, instead of the crowd pulling out phones, somebody goes down with those cops. Maybe they don't put footers on people's neck all the time. So we're not talking about a militia. We talk about being proactive about our own self-defense. Instead of having those cameras out while we watching our brothers get choked out.
Somebody should have pulled a gun out. Busted.
Somebody throw a baseball bat to the head. We should have did something. If they're going to look at, if we're going to do nothing but film it and then get mad when they get acquitted, then why would they stop?
Yeah, somebody should have ran out and at least ran up on one.
By gas and groceries.
You know what I'm saying? At least he'd have been still alive. He'd have got up. Both of y'all would have been locked up, but it's better than, you know what I'm saying?
Better than dead, huh?
Yeah, better
all
than
right.
dead.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna shift.
Idly by and watch each other die. Nobody said we got to turn into a militia and run up on the state capitol. We just got to be about our own self-defense and not sit there putting it on camera and then get mad when they get acquitted. It makes sense to me.
Right. I'm good. I'm good with all the above approach.
I get choked out because somebody please throw a bottle at the cop head.
All right, we got you. All right. So we got two more left. How we looking? What's that? 54. All right. We looking pretty good. We looking good. All right, so we got two left. We got life's regrets and message to your younger self.
You can probably blend them together.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Okay, we could do that. All right, let me okay, I'm gonna go with message to your younger self. And the reason why I wanted to put this out also, because I think that now we can talk from a position of with a little more wisdom. I mean, the three of us, you know, we all, Shyste keeps saying, unite, and myself included, all raising little boys and just kids in general. So now we can say some things that.
What's your message to your younger self?
Well, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm kind of building up to it, Nike.
Oh, nigga,
you trying to say cut? You trying to say cut on the target? He said stop on the target.
Oh, the host.
What I'm trying to get at, Nike, is that I think now the reason why I like this topic is because we come from a position of wisdom now. We have a little more wisdom than we did when we were younger. Right. So my message to my younger self is a couple things. Protect your credit. You know, credit is real important. Also, do things on your own terms. If you're gonna do something, truly do it. And then when you decide to be done with it, be done with it. Don't go doing things and then let somebody else dictate the end. You know what I mean? You know, if you're gonna commit to something, stay committed to it focus on it, and then when you're ready to change directions and do something different, do it that way. But again, I think it's real important to do it on your own terms, because I think that within itself is empowering. The thought that you're creating your own direction and moving in your own way. I think that's a couple of the messages to my younger self. All right, what's up, Shyste? Your message to your younger self.
Like I said, I'm gonna blend them together.
Okay.
Message to my younger self, I would say I spent my youth trying to search for manhood. And manhood, they told us, was about physicality, right? And then I found out it was not just about physicality, meaning the old heads, people in the neighborhood told you about you gotta know how to fight and conquer women. So I learned early, I feel manhood is about physicality. Then I got to think of like it's about being intellectual. So I've spent a lot of my early teens and 20s thinking manhood was being smart and being strong. And it wasn't until I got Asian teaching that understood. So the next message to my younger self and to young people, I tell them to be a man is mind, body, and soul. You got to have the completion of the three. You want to be master your physical, you want to master your intellect, and you want to master your higher self with your connection with God. My regrets, I have a lot of regrets, but I keep saying to myself, I don't want to live with regrets. Not to say I'm not remorseful for things I've done. I am remorseful for things I've done, but I don't want to live with regrets because everything was a part of what made me who I am. But if I had to pick one, if I had to pick a regret, if I could do things over.
Hello?
Yo.
Stace. What's you doing?
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is my joint off?
Yeah, one of y'all cut off. Anyway, hey, I'm gonna get into so my message to my younger self.
Y'all missed all that.
Yeah, Shyste, you know what? I don't know what happened, man.
I think you cut out, man.
All right, can I try it again real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, let me get this real quick. The message to my younger self, to learn growing up, I thought being a man, manhood was about physicality. We was taught fight, conquer women.
No, we got that part. You was at the part where the
knowledge of self, learn to be intellectual, and then figure out to be a total man is to be mind, body, and soul. To get my higher self, my intellectual connection with God. I think that's what I would tell my younger self. Master your physical, your intellectual, and your spiritual self. And regrets, if I had to pick all the things I'm remorseful for, and I know we always say regret nothing is all part of the journey. But if I had to pick one, my mother left in 2004 would probably be able to do some things to be a better son.
All right, Knight. Are you still on, Knight?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my message to my younger self would be who you are and don't be who people want you to be or people think you are. You know what I mean? I just think that I could have gone a little farther in life if I would have had like more guidance or more somebody to look up to. You know what I mean? I didn't really have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a smart kid, but I was more street smart. Nah, I wasn't even more street smart than book smart. I was street smart and book smart. So that kind of made me think that I was, at that time, invincible, I guess, or whatever. I would have just told my younger self to stay out the streets, because like that brought me a lot of headaches and a lot of heartaches that I didn't have to have. You know what I'm saying? And if I would have just stayed with the books and stayed with the little hobbies that I had like to do, I think I would have been a more successful person. You know what I mean? And I would have been a better role model for my kids. You know what I'm saying?
And just, I know we're winding things down. And actually we're having a problem with the internet here, internet connection. We're gonna go out. We got Shyste playing in the background. A Cage Jim Crow sing. So we're gonna go with that on the outro. But I'm gonna say that regrets is that, yeah, I would say that. I wish that I could have been, a better man. Totally. Between raising your kids, at home, better husband, just a better man. And I know that they say wisdom is wasted on the youth. I wish that I knew now what I knew then.
Goodness,
I wish I could have been. I just wish I would have been a better person.
Right.
A better person. Shyste, did you have something else you want to add with that? Okay, is this internet jacked up? Can we hear Gears?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I think you said it all. So the message to the younger self, it's just the message I give when I go out and talk to young people, because I'm actually person, the artist, the activist, the youth advocate. So the art takes me to these spaces to talk to my young people. So the message that I wish I'd have got earlier is the message I give to young people. Master the mental, physical, and spirit the best you can. Cultivate it. What's say master?
Right. Cultivate. So that means it's always growing. It's always growing.
Yeah.
Right.
Cultivate it. Don't let them tell you, sister, you only can be this, and brother, you only can be this.
That's why this show is important to me, man.
Right. I was gonna say that.
Because I feel like I'm giving something back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that is yet, but it feels like I'm giving something back. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's true. This is your opportunity, as you said, Nike. When the pieces that I could pick up from you that you didn't have anybody saying that to you. Well, here's our opportunity to use this small platform that we have to say those things to fathers or even kids that aren't hearing it.
Yeah.
Also, just to throw something out there, we're talking about Father's Day. Stay tuned. It's in conversations. We might have some of the sons on and having a show called Father's Day where we talk about how it was being raised by us, etc. So we just want to put that out there to everyone to stay tuned. All right, Shyste, any closing words, man? Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you. Like we said, we started off with the project, and I'm glad y'all let me come in and be a guest host, talk about my project. So I would love to see people support Real Soul Records. Go to the website. If you're on Facebook or you're on Instagram, go to Real Soul Records and look what's going on there. You know what I mean? My sister just came out Lady Sarcasm. So Real Soul Records in effect. What it's about do for self. We own the masters. We are the masters.
Right. And also, and with that being said, also, like I said, we're gonna talk to Eda Poet. Baltimore native, now from Philly. He's one of the, I guess he's the founder of Griot. So we're gonna see if we can touch base with him, get him on, do the same thing. Couple minutes talking about what he's doing and everything else, man. Because this, we got to use it for what we can.
And everybody remember,
any closing words, man?
Everybody just, keep me in mind. Help me spread the word. June 11th, 2021 is going to be Black Dollar Blackout. Trying to show these politicians, trying to show these lobbyists, trying to show, these lawmakers that, we're forced to be reckoned with if we can get our stuff together. So spread the word, man, and we gonna turn things around for Black people.
Right. And I just want to say in closing, thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you got something from it. Keep the conversation going. And we look forward to seeing you all next Sunday. Keep the comments going. Also, if you have ideas or things that you would like to see us banter about on the podcast, let us know. We try to pay attention to those and give that feedback.
And thank y'all so much for joining us, man. We really, really appreciate y'all. Like, really. Just, keep spreading the word and keep checking us out. And hopefully we'll be able to keep good content for everybody.
Right. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Real brothers for the real world. We out.
What you wanna do? Vote or bust your gun. Bullet on the ballot. Words from the soul, the mouth.